Hey everybody, this is Terensu again. This is Asura Buster, Eternal Warriors. The sequel to Asura Blade, which was Asura Blade for a little bit Warriors. Where's Rosemary? There she is. I also picked her Player 2 palette for some reason, which I don't really like as much. But we'll go with it. Some Street Fighter 3 parrying going on there. In the original game, you could pretty much beat the entire game as Rosemary just by spamming her projectile. They made the CPU a little bit better in this one, but not by much. The original also had some problems, like with specials. So for example, if I activated a special, the special, like if I got hit during the special move, the special stays on screen, but it doesn't hit. You just go right through it. And even if you were like halfway through it and you got hit, it just stopped the animation right there. Well, the hitbox anyway. Which I can understand if I get knocked out of my special, that's fair, but don't leave it on screen, because that just adds like insult to injury. It's one of those games where the first stage is kind of boring because the CPU like does absolutely nothing. Alright, we gotta go to Kaleido, and the next level is the scope. If this guy is not a ripoff of that little dude from Samurai Showdown, I don't know what is. You can also get past the second game by spamming projectiles, apparently. I'm still here, just nothing interesting to say at the moment, I'm afraid. The big hand attack is really annoying, but I guess I've got no excuse when I can just projectile him to death. This isn't the only special she has. She has another one, which I'll try to pull off at some point. This is a 3-button fighter, which you don't see very much. Light, medium, and heavy attack is all you have. It's not like most of your Capcoms where you've got your just 6 buttons. Or even like SNK with 4. It's got 3. Comboing is very SNK though. Are you chaining together your heavy and your mediums and your lights? They sped up the game a lot from Asura Blade as well. It plays a little bit faster. Just play it safe here. I don't know what the tiers are for this game, but Rose has some really great stuff. A lot of range, a lot of quick light attack. Decent anti-air options. Air projectile. I mean, come on, what more do you want? I'd like to stop getting hit for one thing. The old classic standby, just throwing projectiles at them over and over. He couldn't stand it, he had to get hit by them. Here's the sub-boss, Veeble. You just kind of run into him in a cave and he's like, I'm gonna attack you now. He has some cheap and annoying attacks, but fortunately he can usually be spammed out pretty easy. He's also pretty big, so it's kind of hard for him to dodge. There's actually a secret character in the game that when you pick her, she transforms into whoever you're fighting against, so you have an all-mirror match. And that does include Veeble. If you play as her and you reach this point, she will transform into him and you can actually be the boss. It's the only way you can play as him. Besides using hacks to control him, of course, and he works completely, obviously, because he had to be made playable to work as the mirror match thing. You do have to be careful though, because his attacks can be very damaging if he does catch you with them. He's also fond of air beaming you. He reminds me of something out of Dungeon Fighter Online for some reason. Oh wow, I actually hit a special. Here's the Angry Kenyan as opposed to the Happy Kenyan. And it's a bonus stage. I think they found some sprites for this mini game in the first game. You were supposed to fight these wolves in the first game as a bonus game, but it didn't make it in, so they put it in this one. Unfortunately, it's one of those things like the barrel game in Street Fighter 2. If you miss one, you're pretty much screwed because the others are just going to start knocking you around. Leon can be difficult if you're not careful. Fortunately, we're going to be careful and just there's something weird going on with that. I don't know if the human player could get away with that, but usually that anti-air should catch stuff like that. Gotcha. This is one of those games where when you hit with the special, you want to tap the button to get more hits out of it. Or at least in Rosemary's case. This is pretty short for a game. You know, usually they'd make you fight all the characters and like 1 or 2 bonus stages, but no, you just you got your one sub-boss fight, you get your one mini-boss, you get your one rival battle, and like 3 other battles, and then that's it. And it's your standard guy with a big head and 2 hands type boss fight. I'm not doing so well. I've never seen this boss be this aggressive. Well, how anticlimactic. Let's try that again, shall we? Now there's a trick to this because I remember doing it. Maybe you just have to wait until it stops. This side's definitely easier to manage than the other side. Like, you don't know when that hand has a hitbox and when it doesn't, so it's annoying. And then, like, sometimes he just stands there like an idiot, and then other times he won't stop attacking. Regardless, he's pretty worthless. Only one continue, not bad. If I'm gonna lose to anybody, I'd rather it be the boss anyway. I demand that someone translate this for me so that I know what's happening. The Japanese just isn't good enough to read that without sitting down and transposing it and all kind of crazy stuff. But anyway, that's Asura Buster. That's the entire game. It's pretty quick. Get some nice little artwork of the characters here in the background, but really that's it. It's a shame they never made more of these games. This is the sequel to Asura Blade, like I said, which is also a good game, if not a little broken. It has some problems, to say the least. But I mean, they're two decent little obscure fighters that no one really knows about, which is a shame. I'd love to see some high-level play of these games, see what it looks like. Anyway, that's Asura Buster. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.